What's up, iPad lovers? Welcome back to iPad Focus, where we dive deep into everything Apple. We're kicking things off with a story that's all about the land and the harvest. Minnesota apple growers are gearing up for their big picking season, and the anticipation is palpable as they prepare to bring in the bounty. Next up, we're heading to the world of college football, where Washington State head coach Jimmy Rogers is walking back some controversial comments he made after the Apple Cup. He's addressing his remarks and offering an apology to the Cougar fans, and we've got all the details on what led to this apology and what it means for the team moving forward. Now, let's switch gears to the software side of things, because Apple has just made a move that's going to impact a lot of users. Apple has officially stopped signing iOS 18.6.2, which means that if you've updated to iOS 26, there's no going back. We're breaking down what this means for your iPhone and iPad. And that's not all. Apple has also stopped signing iPadOS 18.6.2, making downgrades impossible for iPads as well. We've got the full scoop on these software updates and what you need to know. You're not going to want to miss a second of this. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Minnesota apple growers ready for picking season. Get ready for the crisp air and the sweet scent of success, because Minnesota apple growers are officially gearing up for their highly anticipated picking season. This is more than just harvesting fruit. It's a culmination of a year's hard work and dedication from these dedicated farmers. As the leaves begin to turn, the orchards are buzzing with activity. Growers are meticulously inspecting their trees, ensuring the apples are at their peak ripeness, and making final preparations for the influx of visitors eager to pick their own bushels of crisp, delicious apples. From Honeycrisp to Fuji, the varieties promise something for every palate. This season is crucial for the agricultural community, representing a significant economic boost and a cherished tradition for families across the state. It's a time for celebration, community, and enjoying the natural bounty of the land. The excitement is already palpable among apple enthusiasts and families looking forward to a classic autumn experience. Social media is abuzz with anticipation, and local harvest festivals are being planned, highlighting the community's eagerness to support their local growers and partake in this beloved seasonal event. Don't go anywhere, because the drama is just heating up in the world of sports. Next, we're diving into some serious apologies from a college football coach. WSU football coach Jimmy Rogers walks back excuse-laden comments after Apple Cup, apologizes to Coug fans. In a significant turn of events, Washington State head football coach Jimmy Rogers has issued a public apology, walking back comments made after the recent Apple Cup loss. Rogers had pointed to the team's financial resources compared to their rivals as a contributing factor to the defeat, a statement that drew considerable criticism. Speaking to the media after the 59-24 rout by Washington, Rogers stated, "Here's the reality, we don't have the resources, naturally, to compete with $30 million. All right, a roster that's loaded." He also alluded to gamesmanship regarding quarterback selection. However, just 2 days later, at his weekly press conference, Rogers expressed regret for those remarks. He emphasized that he was hired to build a winning program, not to make excuses, and acknowledged that his comments were hypocritical given his own teachings to the team about self-reliance and commitment. "If there's one thing I regret from Saturday, it's the comments in here," Rogers admitted. "Nobody brought me in here to make excuses about things that we don't have. They brought me in here to help create a winning program." He extended his apologies directly to the Cougar fans and the administration, recognizing that nobody cares about external disadvantages and that the team must save ourselves. He stressed the importance of commitment to the process, competition, focus, and passion, promising that the team would not stop trying. He also acknowledged the need for continued support while vowing to improve the product on the field to generate success. The apology resonated with many, with fans expressing a mix of understanding and a desire to see the team move past the controversy. Analysts are watching closely to see how Rogers' shift in tone impacts team morale and future recruiting efforts, particularly as the Cougars prepare to face Colorado State. And speaking of things you can't go back on, our next story is about a big software change. Get ready, because Apple is locking down its latest iOS version, and you might not like what that means. Apple stops signing iOS 18.6.2, blocking iOS 26 downgrades. If you've been on the fence about updating your iPhone or iPad, or perhaps regretting a recent upgrade, Apple has just closed the door on downgrades for a specific version. Apple has officially stopped signing iOS 18.6.2, effectively preventing any users from rolling back to this version after updating to iOS 26. This move, which typically occurs shortly after a new stable version is released, means that once you've installed iOS 26, there is no longer a pathway back to iOS 18.6.2. For those who may have encountered bugs or simply preferred the previous iteration, this decision means they are now committed to iOS 26 or the newer iOS 18.7, which is still being signed but lacks direct downgrade support from iOS 26. Apple usually stops signing older versions to encourage users to adopt the latest software, which often includes critical security patches and bug fixes. The tech community is abuzz with the implications, with many users expressing frustration over the lack of choice, especially if they experienced issues with iOS 26. Developers and tech enthusiasts are analyzing the security implications and the new features of iOS 26, while casual users are being advised to ensure their backups are current in case of any unforeseen problems with the current version. But the software lockdown doesn't stop with your iPhone. We're about to reveal how this impacts your iPads too. Apple stops signing iOS 18.6.2, iOS 26 downgrades now impossible for iPhones and iPads. Apple has implemented a significant software policy change, halting the signing of iOS 18.6.2. This action renders any possibility of downgrading to iOS 18.6.2 from the newly released iOS 26 impossible for iPhone users. The same restriction now applies to iPad users, as Apple has also ceased signing iPadOS 18.6.2 and tvOS 18.6. When Apple signs software, it refers to a crucial server-side verification process that must be passed for any new iOS version to be installed on a device. By unsigning older software, Apple prevents users from installing outdated versions, which are often less secure and may contain known vulnerabilities. This strategy aims to ensure that the vast majority of users are running the latest, most secure operating system. While Apple doesn't force users to update immediately, once a device is upgraded to iOS 26, there is no official way to revert to iOS 18.6.2. This development has sparked discussions among users about software update choices and the permanence of upgrades. Many are weighing the benefits of the latest features against the potential risks of being unable to downgrade if issues arise. Tech analysts are noting this as a standard Apple practice to maintain ecosystem security and encourage adoption of new features and security patches. That's all the news for today, but we've got a quick recap coming up. Stick around for a lightning-fast summary of everything you need to know. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. Minnesota apple growers are getting ready to harvest. Coach Jimmy Rogers has apologized for his comments, and Apple has closed the door on iOS and iPadOS downgrades. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and let us know in the comments which story you found most interesting. Follow us on all social platforms for more Apple news and updates. Thanks for watching iPad Focus.